Well, I just thought you'd like to have a look at this set of Reading scales I've got in. They've come to me because they're not repeating and a bit sticky, I've been told. So I've had a quick look and I think I can see the problem straight away. We've got a new set of scales, very little wear, nice crisp box. Look at the bearings here. They're so far out of line that the knife edges are actually rubbing on the scale body here. So we've got to do something about those and have a look. There we can see the bearings for the knife edges hard up against the body. And so the knife edge on the beam there is actually rubbing against the body. And while we're talking about Reading scales, I thought you might just like to have a look at another couple I've got here. These are both Reading number 2s. This one is the oldest one, maybe 20 years ago. This one maybe 10, 12, 15 years ago, not quite so old. And you'll see how they've subtly changed. They all look the same. They use the same mould for the bodywork, but subtle differences. You'll notice in the old early one here, we've got a nicely knurled adjuster. There we move on. We've only got a bolt stuck through, a bit cheap. The bearings have changed from a nice deeply cut slot with the hardened steel inserts in there to just a very slight little groove. There you can see. And the beam from a nicely etched beam, engraved, really good quality, nice and clear, good serrations, to the modern beam. Yeah, still clear enough, but it's got an applied tape stuck on. So you see that although they look the same, they're not quite the same, and they've cut corners at every opportunity, along with all the other scale manufacturers. So still a good, sensitive, simple scale, 2-point scale, but not quite the scale they were. However, they do tune up well, and that's the job I'm proposing to do with this. Okay, well, I've made the little new bearings on this bit of silver steel rod on each end there, and I've pushed out the old bearings and reamed a hole for the new ones, and I will push in there. Then I'll grind them to size and length, and then harden them. And we can see the new bearings there. They're silver steel, polished and hardened to glass hard. And they're working very well. The little extended pointer, very often I put it on the beam itself, but this one I've put onto the scale because it's just the layout of the Reading scale. At the bottom of the damping slot there, I put a little bit of dense foam rubber, and it stops the damper blade coming down and bopping on the metalwork, makes it much softer and smoother. This is the little adjuster. There we can see we've got a little ball bearing in the nose there, so when you adjust it, the scale doesn't walk around. When I drilled and reamed these, when I drilled and reamed the holes for the bearings here, I chipped and scraped the paint. So what I've done in the end, I've tried to match up the paint, not very successfully, so I sprayed the whole thing. That was the finished result. Put the new bearings in. We've made a new adjuster with a ball bearing tip, brackets for the camera, extended pointer, hone the edges, knife edges, hone the pan hanger edges, and it's working very well. We've increased the mass. So filled it with a stone cast, there's a dense plaster of Paris, and then I've cast a couple of lead weights, just ball plug and screwed into there either side, and that makes it a really solid, nice, stable base. Camera bracket we can adjust to and fro and up and down, and well, you can see we've got it zeroed there. You can see with the camera we've got terrific magnification there. So I won't run it right the way through the range, just a few checkmates in. So this is 10 grains. That's 10 grains, so I'll put in a single kernel of agate. That's 10 grains and 1 kernel. I'll put in another kernel of agate. That's 10 grains and 2 kernels. So if I put in another 20 grains, so we'll have 20 grains and 2 kernels. So we've got 30. We've got 30 grains and 2 kernels, and it'd be nice to see it just over the line. There we go. So if I take the 2 kernels out and just put the 30 grains in. That's 30 grains. 30 grains and 1 kernel. And 30 grains and 2 kernels. So I'll put in another 20, which gives me 50. That's 50 grains and 2 kernels in there. We'll take the 2 kernels out. 50 grains in there.